Hey there, and welcome into Main Street Living. I'm Danielle Alvari.
Hey guys, I'm Quincy Carr.
And I'm Tom Gregory.
Tom Gregory. The last time we had you, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
The last time we had you on as a guest, and now I come back from my little work away from the show, and now you're on the show too. Am I losing my job, man?
No, Quincy, there is no replacing you. And
we thought this was a good time to tell you.
Happy before the holidays. That's right. No,
yeah,
Quincy,
perfect time to tell us.
There's no replacing you.
Yeah, well, Tom, tell the viewers a little bit about what you do.
Well, what I do right now, besides stealing Quincy's job, is I actually host the show, the Car Show Driven, right here on Your View. It's car stories, all different kind of car stories. And besides that, I am a resident of New Orleans, Louisiana.
New Orleans.
Father of 2 daughters and man who needs sleep.
The last 2 are not connected, I'm sure.
Actually, not now. They're 9 and 11. It's past the point of waking me up in the middle of the night. It's the car show. Lots of stories to tell.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, we're really excited to have you on now as one of our hosts. But since you are starting this new job,
yes.
What was your strangest or worst job that you've had?
Well, the strangest is probably when I got asked to host a car show, considering that on the list of the top 10 worst cars, I've owned 3. Pontiac Aztek, AMC Gremlin, and Chevy Chevette. I've owned all 3. 30% of the cars that are on the top worst list I've owned. So it's kind of strange that I'm hosting a car show. But
so if somebody wants a terrible car, you know exactly where to send them.
Exactly. Yeah. I have that history. So
yeah. Well, fortunately, you don't have a car as bad as Cheryl's.
Oh, man.
We need to do a feature on Cheryl's car. That's a bad car.
Yeah, for sure.
That's actually why she's not here for the show today. Her car broke down. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No. It's a lot of fun. I know my worst job was my first job, working at Wendy's. So this is a far cry from what I did at Wendy's. My feet were hurting. So done. But what's not going to be hurting is the information that we are going to be giving to you on this show today. You definitely want to stick around because we're going to help you find some hidden riches in your own home, and we're going to get the inside scoop on the opera opening back up.
Plus, we'll tell you how you might be able to make money renting your home and how to stay healthy in your home.
Yes, and of course, it's baseball playoff time. We're excited about that. Quincy sat down with a baseball legend, but what goes better with baseball than bobbleheads? We're going to the Bobblehead Museum next on Main Street Living.
Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Tom, I don't know about you guys, but it seems like there's a museum for just about everything. And I have to admit, some of them are pretty unique. For instance, Boston, they have a museum of bad art. California has the International Banana Museum. And Milwaukee, Wisconsin, they have a museum that might leave you shaking your head.
Yes, in a good way. The National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum houses the world's largest collection of bobbleheads. And Phil Sklar is here with all the details. Welcome back to Main Street Living, Phil.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
So for those who didn't catch you last time you were on the show, what kind of background can you give us on the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum? How did it get started? What's the mission?
Yeah, so we just did an updated count, and we now have over 10,000 bobbleheads on display. Before, I think we had about 7,500 estimated, but we had several people count and verified over 10,000 now. But we're headquartered in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We have also, in addition to the bobbleheads, exhibits about the history, how they're made, the stories behind them, and just really started with a personal collection and grew from there into the museum and a company that produces bobbleheads.
Wow.
It's baseball playoff time. So how are you and the museum celebrating the playoffs?
Yeah, so it's really an exciting time with baseball playoffs going on and all the other sports. Really going on at one time. So it's an exciting fall season for us. But yeah, baseball playoffs are a lot of fun. Bobbleheads and baseball go hand to hand. So we have quite a few baseball bobbleheads, both celebrating World Series champions and a lot of other baseball bobbleheads for fans to get celebrating their favorite baseball team.
Yes, baseball playoffs going on, so very exciting time. But are there other sports that we can find represented in the museum?
Yeah, so basically every sport is represented in the museum, in our online store, and also at the museum store. We have bobbleheads for hockey, which just started now, football, which is in full swing, and basketball, which is just starting. And so, yeah, we're really excited about that, and have just a ton of bobbleheads for all sports, and both players and mascots, and really anything for any fan of all ages.
Bobbleheads might have started with sports, but you have some bobbleheads that have nothing to do with sports. You have actually holiday bobbleheads for sale?
Yeah, so we have a full lineup of what we call mantle mates bobbleheads. They sit on a ledge or shelf behind you or on any table, and so they've been a lot of fun. We have a witch for Halloween, we have a turkey for Thanksgiving, and for the winter holidays we have snowman, elf, Santa, Mrs. Claus, reindeer, and we also have bobble menorah and bobble dreidel for those who celebrate Hanukkah. So yeah, we really have everything covered, and a lot of new bobbleheads, first of their kind, in terms of the menorah and the dreidel, and several other new bobbleheads that you're not going to find anywhere else.
Are most of these bobbleheads given as gifts, or do people buy them for themselves?
So it's a mix. We have some people who will buy, quite a few bobbleheads for themselves and have huge collections and fan caves where they're putting up a ton of different bobbleheads. And then there is a ton of gift giving. So people who want to look for something unique that a person doesn't have. Bobbleheads put a smile on people's faces, and so it's something that makes a great gift for somebody of any age. And with the holidays coming up, it's our busiest time of the year, so we'll be shipping out a lot of bobbleheads in the coming months for people to put under the tree or to give as gifts this holiday season.
Now, the museum itself is located in Milwaukee. Is there any way for people to see the museum without coming to Milwaukee? Though we want them to come to Milwaukee, but is there a virtual way to experience the museum?
Yeah, so we love when people come in from out of town. We have had visitors from all 50 states and about 25 different countries come to the museum in Milwaukee, and we're open 7 days a week, but we're also open 24/7, 365 online on our virtual tour, so people can walk around 360 degrees and take a look at the museum and exhibits and really experience, get a little glimpse of the experience from your couch or desk anywhere in the world.
Wow. Phil, wait, so can people order bobbleheads that look like themselves?
Yeah, so with the holidays coming up, like we mentioned, custom bobbleheads make a tremendous gift. That's definitely something that most people do not have, and we offer the ability for people to make a custom bobblehead of a friend or family member or themselves, and you can completely customize it or choose from about 300 plus different pre-made options, and you have your own head on that bobblehead. And that the look on people's faces when they get their own bobblehead or surprised with their own bobblehead is pretty funny. And it's definitely a one-of-a-kind gift that a lot of people are ordering, and we're encouraging people to get their orders in now so there's not a last-minute rush. They still have a few weeks to go, and so we're busy getting some of those custom bobbleheads going.
Yeah. Where can viewers get more information?
Yeah, so our website is bobbleheadhall.com, and you can go there and find out all the information about the bobbleheads, the museum itself, the history of bobbleheads. We have the full timeline there. You can also get to our online store where we have several thousand different bobbleheads as well as the custom bobbleheads. So it's a one-stop source for bobbleheads, and people can definitely submit ideas as well. We always are welcome to hear from people who want to submit an idea for a bobblehead, and maybe it'll be the next.
Do you have one, Phil? Do you have one of yourself?
Yeah, so me and the other co-founder Brad both have. We have actually many bobbleheads that are on display at the museum in our welcome section, so people can take a virtual tour and see our mini bobbleheads with the welcome panel, welcoming visitors to the museum.
Phil,
so you're always there.
Thank you so much for the bobblehead update. Easy for me to say. The world needs more bobbleheads. It definitely needs more bobbleheads. Thank you very much for spending time with Main Street Living today, Phil. Yeah, thanks for having me back. And yeah, bobbleheads put a smile on people's faces, so we're having fun every day trying to accomplish that mission. Thanks, Phil. Up next, Quincy, visits with a baseball legend.
This is a good one.
Welcome back. There is a lot of excitement around baseball this time of year. It is playoff baseball time, the race to the World Series.
Yes, and while baseball is known as America's pastime, there's a lot of history behind the game, some of it inspiring, and some, unfortunately, mirrors our country's struggle with racial equality.
Yeah, Danielle, and I had a chance to visit with a true American and baseball hero. In fact, it's a former Negro Leagues player by the name of Sam Allen. Take a look at this.
Hey guys, I'm outside in the park in Norfolk, but not just any park. This is where it all began for one of 757's own living legends, Sam Allen. He played professional baseball for the Negro American Leagues, and today I had a chance to pay him a visit. All right, so I'm sitting across from a living legend right here in the 757. We know him as Sam Allen. Now, Sam, you come from the Negro American League. Like, you were a star, baseball professional star in the Negro American Leagues, but you're from right here in Norfolk. Like,
Right.
Tell us, like, what was it like growing up in the Hampton Roads area back in the 30s?
Yeah, well, I started school in 1942, and we used to play during that time. Baseball was king.
Right.
You didn't have the NBA, you didn't have the NFL, but you had baseball.
Right. So tell me a little bit about like how was it growing up during those times, like as a kid?
When I was, I guess, about a year old, my grandfather used to carry me to see the baseball game. Down before 1947, the only one that you saw at professional baseball were the whites until the Negro League teams came to town. See, when I was about 3 or 4 years old, I knew the signals. I could tell the grown people would give me that quarter, say, show me how to carry the ball, and I'd show them the 3 fingers carry the ball. And then when I was up to about 10, 11 years old, then I started carrying my glove out to the park. That was how we made our money. Catch a foul ball and we'd sell it to people going to the game. They'd give you 50 cents and they could go in the game with the ball. See, so that's how I made my money.
Now, Mr. Allen showed me the memorabilia he has stored right here in his living room, and I have to say, I was blown away.
This is the 1957 championship team that I played with, the Kansas City Monarchs.
Yeah.
I led the league in run scored that year. And this is the picture that's at the Harbor Park, where they put me in the baseball shrine. My picture's on the wall at the ballpark.
Right, so is this picture right here?
Yeah, 2019, where they...
You famous, man.
I don't know about how famous I am, but...
Sam, I gotta ask you, like, what are some of the fond memories you can share with us during the time that you spent
in the Negro League?
Yeah.
Well, whenever we played in New York, at Yankee Stadium or Evans Field, I always had a real good day. The last game I played in Yankee Stadium, I played against the Monarchs. I was with the Memphis Red Sox, and I hit a triple out by the Monument. That was an old Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
And we beat the Monarchs 1-0. And the last game we played next to the last game when I was with Memphis against Birmingham in Evans Field. And Satchel Paige, All-Stars, came in the next week and played the last game before they tore it down. But that day I hit a couple of home runs at Evans Field, and I had a real good day. But I always had a good day in New York. So you want me to sign this card for you?
Yeah, if you can sign it, I think that'd be awesome, man. I can tell my dad.
Yeah, you met Sam Allen.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna trouble you and ask you to put the year that you signed it, because the year changes everything for me. Yeah. No one can take this.
You don't need the date, the time.
No, I don't need the date. This is cool. This is history right here in my hand. How does it feel, because you still get contributions from MLB based on you and your brother's contributions in the Negro American League?
It makes me feel great, because the last time I played baseball competitive in the league was 1959.
Oh, wow.
And this is
2022.
22.
Wow.
And they still recognize me. You know, it's still to be recognized. That's a long time.
Yeah, I understand that there's a baseball field nearby where you actually
Started it.
Yeah, let's head out there.
Okay. This is the field that I started out with. Yeah, this is the beginning right here.
Okay. I'm bringing the heat
All right.
with some dress pants on.
Now, I hear you.
Oh, they go behind the back. I got the signal. Oh, outside. Oh,
I'm through.
this guy. It's hard to believe he's in his 80s, and it's clear he hasn't lost a step. The game is still inside Sam Allen. The dream started right here in Norfolk, Virginia. A man from humble beginnings who went on to make his mark in a forgotten piece of America's favorite pastime. Still living today on a legacy he built many decades ago, it's an honor to tell a piece of history.
Quincy, what's amazing about that story is there is no bitterness in that man at all.
No. And, the cool thing, Tom and Danielle, is that, at his age, to be so aware and so attentive, plus the man can still go yard, right? The guy can still crack one deep in left field. So it's pretty cool to see that. And maybe we'll catch him in the World Series, like on TV or something. But you can find more about the inspiring history of the Negro Leagues at nlbm.com.
That's right. And stay tuned, because next we are checking out what's the latest at the Arizona Opera.
Welcome back. Throughout the last couple of years with the global pandemic, we have all missed a lot. So it is very exciting to see live performances returning.
Yeah, Tom, the folks over at Arizona Opera are gearing up for a spectacular season, and their president and general director, Joe Spector, he's here with more details. Welcome to Main Street Living, Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem. Great to have you, man. Let's start with a little background on Arizona Opera. Okay, so what's the history of the organization and where are you guys located?
Right. So Arizona Opera was actually born as the Tucson Opera Company back in 1971. So last season was actually Arizona Opera's 50th anniversary. And what an incredible time that was, having just come back to the stage for the first time from the onset of the pandemic. This is our 51st season coming up now. And through almost the entire history of the organization, we have produced our shows in both Phoenix and Tucson. So the company is now headquartered in Phoenix, but we still produce opera in both cities, as well as statewide educational and community programs that reach beyond the two cities. And it's a real honor to be able to be the opera company for the state of Arizona. We produced opera from a range of traditional work to contemporary work, and all with the idea that music and theater and the human voice and storytelling through the human voice can bring people together. So we're excited to be here, be able to share that story today.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. All right. Well, Joe, let's get into the good stuff. What do you have planned for the upcoming season?
Well, we just opened the season with The Falling and the Rising, which is an original co-commission of which Arizona Opera was one of the commissioning companies. It's a story that will be told this coming weekend in Tucson performances. And it's about the experience of U.S. military veterans returning from service and what journey they go through to become whole again. Incredibly touching work. And for those that haven't experienced opera before, both the musical language and the theme of the opera, I think, is something that speaks to all of us. even if we personally or in our family, we don't have military service as part of our own stories. Then our next opera for the season is a German opera that's hard to pronounce but easy to enjoy. It's called Ariadne auf Naxos. And I would say that for people that enjoy sort of cultural tourism and escape, you watch Downton Abbey or something like that, this opera might be for you. The opera, the story of the opera, there is a party at a wealthy gentleman's manor. And as part of the entertainment for the guests for the evening, there's supposed to be a serious opera as one performance, and then a comic troupe that is supposed to perform as well. But the dinner runs long, and because the night's getting late, the host, the wealthy host, says, "Well, we're still going to have entertainment, but why don't you both go at the same time?" So there's this kind of thrown together thing that all the performers have to figure out how to recalibrate what they had carefully planned otherwise for the evening. And so there's this kind of farcical aspect to it, but then there's this sublimely gorgeous music by Strauss on top of that, all in a beautiful new production that's being created for Arizona Opera. And that's taking place at the Herberger Theater Center in Phoenix and the Temple of Music Art in Tucson. And then we go into our main stage series, which runs beginning in January. All of these performances take place at Symphony Hall in Phoenix and at the newly renamed Linda Ronstadt Hall in Tucson. And those performances are Puccini's Tosca, which is one of the great, passionate, revenge-filled love triangles of all time, let alone in opera. Then we move to a beautiful new production of Rodgers and Hammerstein, The Sound of Music. And then we close the season with Mozart's The Magic Flute, in another Arizona Opera production that is not to be missed, great for families. And we're just incredibly proud of being able to express opera through all these different titles over the course of a single season.
Wow. Now, you're talking about coming out of the pandemic. You're talking about huge productions with all these things that are happening. So for the audiences, are they back inside, and how long has it been?
Well, we just got back into the theater 10 months ago. Our first opera back was a mariachi opera called El Milagro del Recuerdo, which is a really touching piece about the experience of a family that's living across the Mexico-Texas border. And that was our first time back in the theater just 10 months ago in these same theaters, the Herberger and the Temple of Music and Art. I would say that, like many cultural arts organizations, there are audiences that are coming back with a passion, and some, that are not coming back as much. And it is one of the great challenges that we have to embrace. How do we continue serving those that are coming? How can we continue serving those that are not coming? And perhaps the biggest opportunity is, think of a song you love. Think of that song you turn on your radio when you're driving home at the end of a long day at work, or something rough happened to you. That story speaks to you. That human voice speaks to you. Yeah. The power of storytelling through the human voice, it's still there and as resonant as possible. So the biggest opportunity for us is just how we figure out how to connect this art form that's been here for 400 years in a way that all those folks that we've never reached before, that we can touch their hearts for the first time. And there are so many of those folks. So really being a community-minded organization, we think of all of it. And it's a journey. So yes, many coming back, some staying at home, but so many more yet to serve. And that is our greatest passion.
Joe, I know you guys do so much beyond even just the shows you offer, the educational community part as well, the Next Gen program you have. How can viewers get more information or buy tickets?
To learn more about Arizona Opera, the best place to go is to azopera.org, and you can find us on all social media channels as well.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's great to be with you today.
It's always good to dose this show with a little bit of culture. I love to see it. And if you're looking for a way to find a little bit of extra cash, it might be hiding in your house. We'll talk about it next.
Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, Tom, Danielle, I know you both are aware prices are on the rise for just about everything these days. In fact, many of us are probably out looking for more ways to make our dollar stretch further, or even make a few extra bucks, right, Danielle?
Yeah, I'm always looking for a few extra bucks, and I'm always looking for new jewelry, which just means it ends up piling up in a drawer somewhere, and then I don't end up wearing it. And if you have that situation, you may be sitting on that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Precious Metals Refinery in Arizona will give new life to your old jewelry, watches, silverware. You got the bling, you want to turn it in, you might have cold, hard cash coming. Check this out.
Hi, I'm Carly, and welcome to Precious Metals Refinery. Precious Metals Refinery has 7 locations in Tucson, Arizona, and we are now located in North Scottsdale and Arcadia. And we specialize in buying gold, silver, diamonds, watches, coins, and brand name jewelry. And at PMR, there is no middleman. We have our own refinery and international clients. And with such a large client base and 12 locations, we are able to pay our customers more money. You are going to get a selling experience that you're not going to get anywhere else. With our competitors, you might be doing everything out in the open or over the counter. Someone might see what you brought in or how much money you received for your valuables. At PMR, we welcome you back into one of our private offices where our buyers go through the whole selling experience with you from start to finish with full transparency. This also allows us to give our customers the time, because there might be a lot of reasons why someone could be parting with their valuables, and sometimes it can be an emotional process for them. So it allows our buyers to give them that time and to be very empathetic and sentimental to them. Also, our buyers are highly trained. We know what your item is worth and we pay accordingly. In addition to purchasing gold, silver, watches, and coins, we all know that diamonds are a girl's best friend. So we are always looking for stud earrings, diamond rings, tennis bracelets, and diamond jewelry. We also purchase brand name jewelry such as Cartier, Tiffany, Bulgari, Rolex, Omega, David Yurman, and Patek Philippe, and many more. Our inspiration came from a family member named Richard Barron. He was the founder of the National Association of Jewelry Appraisers and the director of the National Association of Watch Experts. So having a family member that helps standardize jewelry appraisal worldwide, it just gives PMR the outreach and the knowledge and expertise that our competitors just do not have. We are locally owned, but because we are on a level that's world-renowned with our expertise and our knowledge and network, we are able to yield a higher price to our customers. A lot of people might wonder, is their jewelry really gold or silver? Precious metals are non-magnetic. So the first thing that you can do is you can actually take a magnet and see if your jewelry sticks to it. I would also examine to see if there's any hallmarks on your jewelry. But what I would recommend is to come into one of our locations and have one of our GIA certified experts examine it for you, because you could be sitting on a small fortune. Walk-ins are welcome at any of our locations. If you do have a large estate, you can book an appointment with us online. Come visit us at any one of our PMR locations, mention this segment, and receive a free watch battery or jewelry cleaning. Whatever your reasons are, sell it for more to PMR.
Wow, guys, I think it's so cool that they can take something that maybe you don't, want anymore, or is not special to you, and make something brand new and special out of it. I feel like that recycling and kind of thrifting is really big right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big thing. In fact, as soon as we're done with this, I'm heading to my wife's jewelry box. There is some gold waiting for me, for my pockets.
You just told on yourself. So
Tom.
Tom.
Don't get yourself in trouble, but you guys can find more on their website at preciousmetalsrefinery.com.
Coming up next, tips for the current real estate market.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. Now, we all know that owning real estate is a great long-term investment, but managing that property can be confusing and a lot of work.
Our next guest is here to help us figure out when we may want to enlist the help of a professional and call in a property manager. Welcome, Al Passeri of Harland Property Management. Welcome, Al.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So What is an operations manager? You are the operations manager for Heartland Property. What are your responsibilities? What kind of things do you handle?
At Heartland Property Management, we're responsible for everything relating to the success of the property. It requires knowledge of market pricing, advertising, accounting, home repairs and maintenance, landlord-tenant laws, insurance, just a whole ton of items that allow us to position owners in the best possible way for their investment.
Yeah, so Al, although the summertime is over, it doesn't mean vacation rentals are still not the hot topic, which is of late. Now, it seems that the rules are changing every day. So, what's the latest in that market?
Yes, the long-awaited City of San Diego short-term rental ordinance is finally in effect, and they've given us dates. The application process is open. Everyone's going to be required to have a license. The number of licenses is limited, and it should reduce the amount of vacation rentals in San Diego substantially. The application period is open until November 30th. They're going to have a lottery for the limited number of licenses. And then by May, you will need a license to operate a short-term rental or vacation rental in San Diego. As a result, what we would urge people to do is plan now, because not everybody who operates a vacation rental currently is going to be able to operate one by May.
Well, so that's just specific to San Diego, or is that something that's kind of going across the board? Because that sounds a little crazy, right?
It's the city of San Diego specifically, so it's not even the whole county. That said, there are other jurisdictions that are adopting similar restrictions, numbers of vacation rentals, and it seems to be something that, if you're interested in short-term rental, you need to be aware of.
Al, is this an advantage to the owners or the rentals with all these new laws that are coming into effect?
Well, for the owners, obviously, it's one less option that they have. That said, there is an opportunity in San Diego because there's strong demand for long-term rentals. I would say that, we have a market where there's not enough supply. So for renters, it's good in the sense that they're going to see more rentals available probably. And for owners, they definitely have the option of looking at long-term rental as an alternative use of their investment property.
Got you. Now, as we all know, over the past couple of years, the real estate market has been red hot, man. And finally, it's kind of starting to slow down. Like it almost kind of feels this way with the teeter-tottering that's going on. But over the past few months, like, what are the challenges that possibly brings your clients?
Well, I think for our clients, it's a good time to be a rental. There is definitely still low inventory, but there's really low demand because of interest rates.
Right.
So that is driving people to rent rather than buy. They want to wait it out. They want to see what happens, and so you have this market that there just isn't a lot of real sales activity, and it's a good time for somebody who might need to sell a property to consider renting it out for a while and wait for the market to turn around.
Al, with all this market flex going on, what are the advantages of having a property manager rather than trying to handle all these laws, all this stuff on your own?
The advantage is definitely that we're living it day by day. With some of the changes, even some of the pandemic effects still hanging around in the county, as like the city and everyone recovers from that operationally. We live with it day by day, and the amount of research people would have to do to get up to speed on changes and everything. We're pre-wired for it. We have vendors that we use that tell we're hooked into a lot of different people who have knowledge of changes as they're coming up. And so we're prepared for that.
Gotcha. And preparation is obviously it's always key. Now, how can viewers find more about the services that you guys offer?
Basically, you can look at our website at harlanpropertymanagement.com, or you can call our office at 858-367-0343, and we'd be happy to talk to anybody.
Well, we look forward to talking to you again with more tips about the real estate market and about the rental market as well. So thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me. Take care.
No problem. All right. Well, time from managing your property to taking care or managing your body. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at the healthcare focusing on, I believe it's the culture and the total well-being of your body. So stick around to see why.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. Now, by this point, we all know how important it is to take good care of our health. And a big part of that is having access to quality healthcare professionals.
Yeah, Danielle. In fact, if you're eligible for Medicare, you may have some questions about the multitude of different supplement plans that are available.
Erica Cardenas, the host of the Your View show, Your Health, had a chance to learn more about a unique Medicare supplement program focused on your total well-being. Let's take a look.
Joining me now is Paco Franco, Medicare Benefits Consultant with Clever Care. Thank you so much for joining us, Paco.
Thank you so much, Erica. I really appreciate it.
First off, we hear that Clever Care is a health plan customized for growing diverse populations. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the most distinct differences of Clever Care is that we combine the principles of Eastern and Western medicine to our approach of healthcare. We believe in the complete well-being of our members and believe that wellness should be affordable. Clever Care offers member support for services in various different languages, whether it be Tagalog, Chinese, Korean. But in addition, you can also visit our various community centers that we have in Koreatown, Westminster, San Gabriel Valley, and there you'll be able to have personalized service from our knowledgeable team members.
So, Paco, how does Clever Care differ from other health insurance plans?
Unlike most Medicare Advantage insurance plans, Clever Care is built for your health and culture. Our plan includes benefits that cover Eastern and Western principles, so you're not having to pay more to keep your traditions alive. Plus, we have over 15,000 provider facilities in our network. We've also have over 55 hospitals here in Southern California that specifically speak your language.
Wow, that's great. So what other Eastern medicine benefits does Clever Care offer?
With Clever Care Medicare Advantage HMO plans, we're able to offer benefits that cover Eastern medicine treatments like unlimited acupuncture with no referrals needed, or even services like gua sha, tui na, reflexology, cupping, infrared therapy, massage therapy, so much more.
Now, Paco, there are other Medicare Advantage plans that, offer those benefits too. So what else makes Clever Care stand apart?
Great question. Thank you so much, Erica. Most Medicare Advantage plans are designed with a general person in mind, a number. And your individual wellness and traditions are typically not part of the equation. But Clever Care is built for your health and your culture.
Wow, Paco, that's amazing. So many benefits for sure. So tell us, who can sign up for a Clever Care health plan?
Absolutely. Anybody who's eligible for Medicare can join Clever Care Medicare Advantage HMO plan. We also have another enrollment period coming up called the annual enrollment period. This is the most popular one, which takes place from October 15th to December 7th. And during this time, you can sign up for a new plan, you can switch plans, you can leave a plan, or simply just return to your original Medicare.
Great. Paco, thank you so much for being with us and sharing all of this great information. If you'd like to learn more about Clever Care, just head over to their website.
Always great information. And you can get more information about the different Clever Care Medicare Advantage plans available in California on their website, getclevercare.com, or by calling 833-388-2463.
All right. Well, straight ahead, guys, there's still more of Main Street Living. Stay right there. Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. It's the last part of the show. Tom, thanks for being a part of the show today, man.
Oh, no, thank you. Always great hanging with the Main Street Living crew. You guys
We
are
the
pretty
Main
incredible.
Street Living crew.
That's right. Get the t-shirts printed, will you? I want to see t-shirts.
That's right. Well,
I
you can
do. I
catch
want
this episode
t-shirts.
and so many others on our Cox Contour app. Don't forget that.
Absolutely. And you can catch new episodes Mondays at 9 p.m. local time. Until then, we'll be there. We hope to see you again next time on Main Street Living.